Hello everyone, welcome to Interceptor Moto. This is my Interceptor 650. Let's hop on and see where the road takes us.
This video is from Saturday, April 27, 2024. On this ride, we take a trip through the Amana Colonies. It's my first time exploring the outlying colonies. I've been to Amana many times, but I've never taken the time to visit the smaller communities around the area. German settlers arrived in Iowa in 1855 and established the Amana Colonies. Originally, there were only 6 villages. The village of Homestead was added in 1861, giving the colony access to the railroad. I'll leave a link in the description for a bit more history on the 7 villages of the Amana Colonies. I came in from the north side of town on Highway 151 and then headed west towards Middle Amana, which is where our video begins today. There's a nice loop that goes through the Amana Colonies called the 220th Trail. It was my first time really experiencing highway riding for an extended period of time, and it was a great time to do it. The weather was beautiful, the wind was tolerable, and the traffic was very minimal, so I didn't have to worry about that. It was a lot of fun winding through the Iowa countryside, seeing all the old farm buildings. I imagine most of them are over 100 years old. Middle Amana was a lot bigger than I was expecting, and another thing that surprised me when I was going through the small communities, a lot of the shops that were in these towns were all closed. For being such a nice day out, I was really surprised there weren't more people out and about in the smaller communities. Middle Amana and West Amana were the only towns I saw people out and about. The rest were almost like ghost towns. It was pretty weird to see. With the majority of the shops being closed, there wasn't really much for me to stop for. Most of my time was just riding through the towns and seeing what they were like. I'll have a little bit more information later on in the video when I get to Amana. That's kind of the main hub of the Amanas. I hope you enjoy watching my ride through the Amana Colonies. We'll catch up in a bit. made a quick stop coming into South Amana. There was an old building that really caught my eye. It ended up being the South Amana Post Office, which has been in operation since June of 1874. Homestead was the last colony added to the Amana Colonies. But did you know Ashton Kutcher once lived here? He was born in Cedar Rapids, but his family moved here when he was in high school, and he attended Clear Creek Amana High School. When someone says they're going to spend some time in the Amana Colonies, usually they're coming to Amana. This is kind of the hub of where everything happens in the Amana Colonies. From fairs to festivals, shops, places to eat, a winery, and there's even a brewery on the east side of town. No matter the season, there's a lot of things to do in Amana. In May, you have My Fest, which is essentially the celebration of spring. 2 or 3 times throughout the year, you'll be able to attend the Iowa Renaissance Festival. This year there's going to be 3. One at the end of May, the first week of June, and in October. In the middle of June, there's Wurst Festival, which I think it's kind of self-explanatory. It's bratwurst. And in the fall, they have Oktoberfest. It doesn't really matter if you like to drink or not. There's so many things to do when Oktoberfest is happening. They have live music, games, German food, all sorts of things for the family. One of my favorite things to do when we come to Amana is go to the bakery. I also like to pick up a bag of kettle corn. Another great thing about Amana is they have great wedding venues. I've been to a couple weddings here in the fall, and while it's a little bit chilly at night, they look fantastic. I was lucky to come to Amana when there wasn't any festivals going on, so it's pretty quiet. Usually when there's a festival or a fair going on, the street is packed and you can't even drive your car through here. I highly recommend you take a trip to Amana. There's a lot of great stuff to do here. I'll leave a link in the description so you can see everything Amana has to offer. the end of my trip, I was going to take Amana Road to Highway 965. What I didn't realize was Amana Road is dirt and then turns to gravel. When I was on the dirt, I thought, no problem. These bikes are made in India. They're meant to handle the Indian roads. Boy, was I wrong when I got on the gravel. I probably went about a quarter mile on the gravel, realized this was a very terrible idea, turned around, and headed back to the Amanas. It was a lot of fun riding through the Amana Colonies in the Iowa countryside. I want to say thank you for taking time to watch this video, and as always, enjoy the ride.